Joining us right now is South Carolina Congressman Russell Fry. He's a member of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees. He's also the GOP freshman class president. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Give us your takeaway on the Wray testimony yesterday.
I think yesterday was incredibly eye-opening. I mean, despite the fact that Director Wray, dodged and didn't answer questions and didn't want to talk about the investigations, I think the deep takeaway is that there are big reforms that are needed at the FBI. People in the field, you look at whistleblowers that we've had come forward, they talk about this, that field agents are ignored, their advice is not taken under consideration, and there are political decisions that seem to happen at the top at the FBI. This is despite the Durham report that just dropped. This is despite the FBI saying, you know what, we're going to learn some lessons from Durham, and they publicly acknowledge in a letter that they're going to fix it, that they're going to run investigations out of the field. And here we go again. It's the same song and dance again and again with the FBI, and that's why the American people don't trust them.
Yeah, but where's this all going? I mean, beyond having a show in Washington, what actually will happen? Will there be accountability? There still hasn't been any from that Russia collusion story that you refer to, the Hunter Biden laptop. He wouldn't even answer whether or not he saw that WhatsApp message from your colleague, Matt Gaetz.
Well, I do think that there are going to be reforms that happen. I think FISA is up for reauthorization. You have 204,000 Americans that were spied on. The FBI wants FISA reauthorized without any changes. That's unacceptable. We're not going to do it. I think this sets that up pretty well. And then we've got the budget process in the fall, reviewing this, making sure that the FBI is accomplishing its mission. And I think, some of the testimony shows why it is so needed. I mean, the FBI in so many ways has blocked House Republicans from investigations. They're not showing the FD 1023. They heavily redact it. They don't produce the other ones that are there. They're not showing it to the American people who deserve to see the contents of that document. So this all highlights, I think, in my mind, House Republicans' drive to reform this agency, to fix it, to fix FISA, and to make sure that the American people can trust the FBI once again.
Well, Attorney General Merrick Garland is now facing a 5 p.m. deadline today to decide whether officials involved in the Hunter Biden investigation can be interviewed by your colleagues. Several House committees, actually. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer announced that the IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley and whistleblower X will testify next Wednesday about their concerns with the Hunter Biden probe. But again, here, where is this going? What are you expecting with this 5 p.m. deadline today? And when you get those testimonies, where do you take it? Where do you take it then?
Well, I think at least from the 5 p.m. deadline, based on prior DOJ actions, I don't expect much. I mean, I'd be more surprised that they would even produce anything by the deadline. So I don't expect them to do that. But what I am interested in, and the same thing applies to the DOJ, is these political decisions that are made at the top are very troubling to Americans. And so when there's a review of budgets, I think for decades, Maria, Congress has forgotten how to govern. They don't look at budget seriously. They don't put these administrations or these agencies on notice on how to do things. Congress needs to step up to the plate and start clawing back some of its Article I authority under the Constitution and demand that these agencies work for the American people.
Yeah, Kayleigh McGee-White, I don't know how you're feeling about this. I mean, we saw that testimony yesterday, and we keep hearing the issues that we know all about. I'm wondering if we're actually going to see some accountability here. Jump in.
Absolutely. And Congressman Christopher Wray also testified yesterday that the FBI had absolutely not acted to protect the Bidens in the Hunter Biden investigation. But that means that one side here is obviously lying. Either Christopher Wray is telling the truth, or the IRS whistleblowers and the DOJ whistleblowers who have said the exact opposite are telling the truth. So what are the American public supposed to believe?
Well, I think, for me, I look at what Mr. Shapley, who was served decades, done multiple investigations into financial crimes, and the fact that he was taken off a case, that they can't produce it, that guardrails were ignored. This is the same pattern that we've seen over and over again. They target Catholics. They go after parents who are involved in their child's education. They spy on American citizens without a warrant. When people say that they don't trust federal law enforcement, these are the types of things things that they look at. This is exactly the narrative, if you will, of weaponization of the government against the American citizen.